welcome back to my channel. It's Lucie Fink. Welcome to our new kitchen. You've probably seen it in a number of videos on this channel already, and you will likely be seeing it a lot in the future because this is my favorite spot in the apartment. Every single kitchen that I've lived in New York has had brown cabinets and really dark marble kind of countertops, so living in this white kitchen is a game changer. Every single time I walk into the apartment, it's bright, it's airy. I love that the cabinet material is actually reflective. So as you can see, you're kind of seeing different parts of the windows bouncing back at you when you look out. And it's just really refreshing and incredibly uplifting and open in here. I have to say, you are seeing a bit of a mess behind me right now. And that's because I've actively been living here now, and I actually just did a full shoot in this kitchen all day today. So a lot of stuff is just drying behind me. Living in New York City, our kitchen is of course very compact. So although there is kind of a lot of storage space in here, it's very tall, it's not wide. So a lot of the cabinets require you to step on a step stool and climb all the way up and reach 3 stories over your head to get something. So of course, Michael, being 6'5", is thriving in this kitchen. I am loving it as well, but I do need to use the step stool a lot more often than he does. When we first moved into this apartment, this kitchen was, as you would expect, entirely empty. So we had to come in, look at the empty space, and figure out how to sort all of our belongings to fit properly. This also coincided with the time when our wedding registry was being built and we were starting to get gifts from our wedding registry. So we have a lot of new kitchen appliances that we had to put away. When we first moved in, we decided to lay everything out on the countertops and to not put things in the kitchen just yet, because we wanted to make sure before we put them away, we were being strategic about where we put them. And this was when we called a personal organization service, Quarterly, to help us assemble the entire kitchen. Quarterly is the company that I worked with a little while back when I did 5 days of organization for Refinery 29. They're a personal organization company. They come to your apartment with a couple of team members, and then depending on what area of your life you want to revamp, they help you do the entire thing, start to finish. So from pulling things out and actually looking at what you have, to paring down and doing that initial edit, to then sorting things and maybe buying new organizational tools, and then actually putting things away. They are pros. I love them so much, and they came in here to help with this beautiful kitchen. Because Quarterly was helping us assemble a brand new kitchen that had nothing in it, that was of course a little bit easier, but this whole organization process is something that you can do with your current home. You don't have to be moving to a new spot in order to completely reorganize. You can pull everything out of the cabinets and start from scratch on your own. I'm gonna walk you through the steps of what the personal organization service did for our kitchen so that you can learn how you can do this on your own. Step number 1, the edit process. First things first, you take everything out of the cabinets. As I mentioned, nothing was already in the cabinets, so we just laid everything along our windowsills. But this is the time to look through all of your belongings and make sure that you don't have any unnecessary items that you never touch. Before we started this process, we really didn't have too many items that we didn't want because we did the edit process before we moved. Step 2 after this edit process is to start organizing things into categories. So the organizers were going through and they were forming small piles. Kitchen appliances, kitchen tools, forks and knives, servingware, vitamins and supplements, snacks, food products, baking ingredients, you name it. At this point, it's a good idea to do a second edit because when you see how many of one item you have, that's the time you know you gotta let go. Once you really see, wow, I have 1,800 knives. I have 5 whisks. Why do I have 17,000 spoons? Why do I have 8 sets of measuring cups? Edit things down one more time and make sure that you only have what's essential. Step number 3. This is when you look at the blank space before you and you actually see the cabinet space that you're working with. Everyone's kitchen is different, everyone has different cabinet arrangements and layouts, so it's very important to look at your particular kitchen and to determine the best feng shui. For instance, in our kitchen, there's really only one drawer that makes sense to be the fork and knife drawer. Also in our kitchen, it was a little bit unfortunate, but we didn't have a garbage can built in. So we had to figure out where in the kitchen we could place a really slim garbage can that would be incredibly functional. We also had some interesting drawers that swung out and some cabinets that were on the diagonal. So it took a lot of looking through the space and actually calculating in our brains where we thought certain items should go to make it easiest when it came time to cook. This is the moment when the organizers ask you the very important question of how often do you use this? And this is very important for one of these tall kitchens where not all of your items are easily accessible at ground level, because it's really important to look through what you have and make sure that the items that are low down and easy to get to are the items you're gonna use every day. You do not wanna be climbing up on a stool to get your morning coffee mug. Instead, it's probably best to put things up high that are either for special occasions, like special servingware, or napkins or candlesticks or whatever you only use on the holidays. So that was step 3, figure out where everything is gonna go. Once everything has a place, this is when it's really important to figure out the most efficient way to put things away and the most efficient way to utilize your space. I'm a big fan of not just throwing things in your cabinets and hoping that they remain organized for the rest of the time, but instead purchasing organization tools that you know are gonna help you stay organized. I worked with a container store for this, so I got a ton of organizational boxes and holders and shelving that really made this process easy. For example, if you open the cabinet behind me, you will see that we sorted things by pasta and rice, grains and lentils, desserts, snacks, and baking goods. We also made 2 separate bins, one for our coffee and one for our decaf drinks like teas. We were also really efficient when it came time to organize our shelves. So we bought these shelf risers that actually make one shelf into 2 shelves. And now you can put something beneath that second shelf and something on top of it, and you've just doubled your space. The spice rack is one of my favorite items because we now have 3 tiers of spices, and all of the spices have been transferred over to really neat glass jars with simple labels on them. It's also a good idea when you're putting your cutlery away to not just shove things in the drawer and hope they stay organized. So we got individual wire baskets for our forks, knives, spoons, and our reusable straws. Additionally, in the drawer below, we're keeping a ton of our cooking utensils there, but if you just shove cooking utensils in a drawer, they're gonna slide around every time you open it. So we cut a non-stick mat, the exact dimensions of the drawer, put it inside, and then placed all of the utensils neatly on that. Now when we open and close the drawer, nothing moves, and it's very neat. So now we've put things away, we've come up with the most efficient use of our space, and the last thing that the organization service did is labeled everything. And I mean everything. I have everything labeled, so now I will never forget where anything is ever again. Now that our new kitchen is assembled, all I really want to do in this space is cook. The only problem for me is that sometimes I have difficulty figuring out what to cook, and even when I do know what to cook, it's kind of a nuisance to have to figure out exactly which ingredients I need, and I don't always have exactly what I need on hand. So this is where HelloFresh comes into play, and especially now that I've organized this kitchen and everything is labeled and put away neatly, cooking with HelloFresh is so easy in here. Every single HelloFresh box comes with pre-measured ingredients, and there's also a step-by-step recipe card telling you exactly what to do. And it also tells you exactly how long it's gonna take you to make the meal, which I find very helpful because I always wanna know when I'm gonna get to eat. The recipes are so delicious, and you can pick and choose from different menu options. So whether you're vegetarian or you're cooking for a full family of 4 people, they've got you covered. And lastly, I love how flexible they are. So you can change delivery dates if you're not gonna be home for some reason, or if you go away like I did on my recent yoga retreat, you can just skip a week. HelloFresh is now from $6.99 per serving, and you can get 8 free meals. That's $80 off your first month of HelloFresh. Just go to HelloFresh.com and enter the promo code Lucie80. Having pre-measured ingredients when you're cooking makes things so simple, but it's also extra simple when you're working out of a kitchen that is fully labeled. So I cannot express how much time it saved me to know where everything was and to be easily able to grab all the cooking utensils I needed while I was cooking. I thought cooking in this kitchen was just gonna be fun enough because it's a brand new kitchen and it's so beautiful, but add in a layer of simplicity of using a recipe card plus having your cabinets labeled, and this is just another level. You can get 8 free meals, that's $80 off your first month of HelloFresh. Just go to HelloFresh.com and enter the promo code Lucie80. Wedding registry. I want to talk about some of my favorite items. Everyone has been asking about my wedding registry and we haven't made a full video about it or anything, but I think it's time that I tell you about some of our favorite items and I let you take a closer look at them. So I'm gonna give you a quick list of maybe my 10 favorite kitchen registry items. Number 1, these pearly iridescent wine glasses. I fell in love with them the first time I saw them and then I wound up putting about 20 of them on the registry. We definitely do not need that many wine glasses, but I've been drinking water out of them because they're stunning. Number 2, this really pretty circular stone slab that we keep on our movable cutting board. It can be used as a cutting board itself, or you can use it to display food. We kind of just keep it in the middle of the kitchen and it's really pretty. Number 3, this beautiful two-tone cheese board that comes with beautiful copper cheese knives. Number 4, our cast iron skillet. I've never had one of these before, but you can cook everything on it from just classic morning eggs to an entire enchilada skillet dish. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna use that for everything. 5, this should have been number 1 because it's my favorite, our brand new white toaster. I love this toaster. We got the extra big one that has slots for 4 pieces of toast. Number 6, we got really pretty cereal bowls. They're kind of shiny and speckly silver and they're so beautiful. Number 7, we got these beautiful small dessert plates that have a gold foil stripe going down the middle and then really pretty sunset pastel colors. Number 8, this. You put the lemon wedge in here with the open side face down and then it doesn't sound like that. 8, our brand new coffee machine. Gotta have that morning cup of coffee. Number 9, this beautiful turquoise bowl that we're keeping right now on our shelves in the entryway, but I'm gonna have to figure out something beautiful to do with it because it is drop dead gorgeous, my favorite color in the whole world. And number 10 has not yet arrived, so stay tuned, but we got a brand new juicer. So excited to juice some veggies and fruits. I hope you enjoyed watching this kitchen organization video. If you have a kitchen or even just any room of your house that needs organizing, I would highly recommend working with a personal organizer. This is something that you can attempt to do on your own, and if you are a really organized person, you might be great at it. But for someone like me, I truly need help and backup support from experts in the field. I'm not sure if I would have been able to do this as orderly and as neatly as they did it, so I'm so grateful that I had the chance to work with them, and I'm so excited that we have this lovely kitchen to live in. I'll be sleeping right here tonight.
Are you stuck?
I'm good. I'm good. If you're new here, be sure that you subscribe by clicking right here, or maybe it's right here. I just always get turned around with these things. Click on one of the sides wherever it says subscribe. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching organization and process, and I'll see you next time right here on my YouTube channel. Bye-bye.